Today I have a I started over. I meant to say Greensboro. Well, they're red like a lollipop. Got nothing on her right here. So
If you want cookies, you can go. You can go to Crumble and you can go to Insomnia. But if you want Bryonne Bakery cookies, you're gonna have to wait.
hey, for real.
And I think it's worth the wait though.
Yo, what's up, folks? Now Jones here with another episode of My Type of People. We're back again in Greensboro, North Carolina, and today I have a very special guest with me. Today I have with me entrepreneur, self-taught baker, creating all the sweets you can imagine. Insomnia and Crumble don't have nothing on her. Today I welcome Nas Archie.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for being here.
I'm glad to be here.
We're going to jump right into it. So Nas, take us to the beginning. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Nas Archie, but everybody knows me as Nas. I'm from High Point, North Carolina. I have been baking since I was about 10, 11 years old. So it's been about, what, 10? No. Is that 10 years? No, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. About 15 years. And then I took a break, and then I just got back into baking last year, and I started Bryonne Bakery, which is my third business venture, by the way. So this just happened to be the one that popped. So, yeah. All
right. Hey, oh yeah, by the way, we're doing some baking today. I should have said that at the beginning, but we're baking some chocolate. Well, she's going to bake some chocolate chip cookies for us today. Regarding your upbringing, so what really made you get into this baking field? So was it someone you watched growing up, or where did you get your inspiration from?
So what I think I got my inspiration from when I was younger, I've always had a passion for science. I love science. When I went to college, I majored in biology before I changed my major, but science has always been a thing for me. So I'm guessing that's something that just sparked in me really young. And I just remember, like, my earliest memory would probably be maybe in like 6th or 7th grade. I used to just buy like a box of brownies and bake them and take them to school. I would even like go get like the little icing packs and just put icing on them, and I would take them to school and sell them for like $1 or $2. That's how I really started getting into it. And then, like I said, I took a really, really long break. I hadn't thought about baking. I would do it as a hobby here and there, like cupcakes, cakes, but cookies weren't. I wasn't baking cookies. So recently, well, last year, I had lost my sister, so I was grieving, actually, and I just started baking. Like, I didn't know what else to do. I was doing everything. I was journaling. I was going to therapy. I was literally doing everything, and that kind of helped. But baking, I was just like, something was telling me, like, just go in the kitchen. And at the time on TikTok, those s'more cookies were going viral.
Oh, yeah.
So people were taking, the pre-made cookie dough and, like, putting the stuff in there. And I was like, like, I want to try that. And I had knew someone at the time who had made them, and I tried it and I loved it. So I'm like, well, let me see how I can make this cookie dough from scratch. And so I did my research, and I went from there. I started off with maybe like 3 flavors. I started off with chocolate chip. So this is the OG. Everybody loves this one.
Ain't no wrong with it.
This brings me back to, like, it's just bittersweet. But yeah, so chocolate chip. I think I had like a Cookie Monster and a Snickerdoodle. And then I was making cinnamon rolls.
What's in a Cookie Monster?
Is chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, Chips Ahoy, and Oreos. And it's a blue cookie. Yeah, so it kind of looks like a Cookie Monster. But yeah, so I started off with 3 flavors, and then my friends and my mom was like, "You're crazy! Like, why aren't you selling your cookies?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I just like baking. I just like making people, like, smile through stuff like that. So then when they were telling me to sell it, I'm like, nah. But then I put myself out there, and I made a page. I put my menu out there. I was selling 3 cookies for $10.
And you do this out of your kitchen at home?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a home-based mobile bakery. I have a website. So I just fulfill orders, yeah.
So what really, you mentioned you do the at-home bakery. So how did you get your name and your brand out there? Was it like pop-up shows? Was it word of mouth? What really, like?
Yeah, so starting out, it was really just word of mouth. I was just baking and giving them to my friends, and then they would, like, I would just ask them to repost, like, my stuff. or sometimes I wouldn't even have to ask; they would just do it. Yeah. However, so they would just start reposting my stuff, and then I hate to say this, but I kind of do know a lot of people.
That's a good thing. That worked out in your favor,
Through
though.
my many walks of life, it's like random. I know a lot of random people, so I guess once I started reposting stuff and using my personal page as well, Facebook, which is based community based, I was able to grow off that, and then I was joining Facebook baking groups and putting like my page in there, and I was able to grow that way. And then so I started December last year, and then up until I didn't have my first pop up until June, and I sold out in like 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I had like 100 cookies and like 40 things of banana pudding. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Next pop up shop, you didn't let me know, or wherever event.
Oh yeah, and I had a second pop up for my birthday, and that was honestly a complete fail, but nobody knew. Like nobody knew what happened. Maybe a few days in advance, I started prepping like dough, but I had changed my butter because I thought, buying it in bulk from this place, from Costco, wherever I went, was going to be a lot better than where I was getting it from. So I was using that butter. Everything else was the same, but I just changed the butter. So I made these 4 batches of cookie dough for the pop up on my birthday, by the way. So the night before it comes, the morning comes, I'm trying to put cookies together. My dough is completely messed up. Like all of my cookies it was just ruined. So I was about to cancel my pop up and everything.
Yeah. But you kept it going.
Yeah, I kept it going. Luckily, I had somebody in my corner that was like, no, like we're not allowing this to happen. I was really gonna have a breakdown. I said, you know what? But I was still able to bake some cookies. It wasn't, all of it, because I had like 8 flavors on there that I wanted to do, but I had it very limited, and I just provided more banana puddings, and I still sold out, and I had sold out within like an hour this time. So yeah, it worked out. Hey. And all of that, like I was so stressed out, but the crazy thing is, like I told you, I've been baking for 15 years. I've been baking these cookies for a year, and that moment right there showed me that you can't, don't change the formula. Yeah. You cannot change the formula, because that was so inconvenient for me. And then the next day, I was like, okay, let me just change the butter bag and do something else. And then literally, the cookies came out so perfect. I said, so it shows you it takes a long time. I thought I mastered my recipe, and I did it after a whole year.
The butter is too cold. The butter's all.
Hey, but I think that's a good learning experience for you too. Like, so moving forward what you got to do.
I was supposed to be weighing these.
Huh?
Oh, I forgot to weigh them. I knew something was off.
But in life, you gotta take these risks. So I could definitely see that. Especially, I think, because when I looked on your social media and stuff, you definitely had a great place, and I can definitely see that in the next 5 years from you. So? Yeah, well, you a hustler. Like
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, because full transparency, y'all. I quit my job that I was working at. I was working in law enforcement, and I quit my job that I was at for going on almost 4 years. Take a risk on myself. Take a risk on myself, but and a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy because I did that. And even sometimes I'm like, are you crazy? Are you really delusional?
I don't think so.
But I'm like, hey, if you're consistent and word of mouth and all of that, I feel like that would really get me far. And I have a lot of people that's willing to support me and have supported me thus far. So the support has been overwhelming. However, this transition from going from all I know is working a 9 to 5 to now I can wake up and do what I want. This has
on your own time.
Yeah, it's been the hardest thing for me to adjust to. Most people look at that as a good thing, but I never intended on being a business owner. Like I used to be in college and business classes almost falling asleep because it was like, what am I here for?
Right.
But now that I'm in this position, I have to implement that type of stuff. It's like, I really wish I would have took that knowledge that I missed out on then and applied it to now, because then that would have made this transition a little bit easier. But yeah, I feel like I escaped the matrix in a sense.
Definitely. That leap of faith, I feel that takes people to places. Because when you think about, you listen to other people's stories similar to yours, like that's millionaires now, you'd be like, okay, I have a chance to do this too, type of thing. So I think that's great.
Yeah, and another thing that I had wanted to mention was like another reason why to add on to the reason I had started back baking was like because also on top of like my sister passing, and then earlier this year, you know, I'm losing other family members back to back, and then it was just a lot of. I've been through a lot of stuff this year, and a lot of people they taste these cookies and they're like, oh, like they taste so full of love and all this other stuff, and I'm like, little do y'all know, like it was tears in this cookie dough, like not literally.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But yes, like I would cry and just bake cookies, and when that happened, and then seeing how people reacted when I would give them a cookie, and I had people that tell me like how it makes them feel, like, oh, this made my week, or this made me so happy, or whatever. Like that started making me feel really good. It made me want to keep doing it, and yeah, now we're here.
And you here?
Yeah.
Do you have any more items on your menu or?
So I know how to do cupcakes and cakes. However, my specialty right now is cookies. Right. So that's what I've been focusing on. In the past, I've introduced new items. So banana pudding. I have a Biscoff strawberry banana pudding. That is a huge hit that everybody loves. That sounds good. So I use Biscoff cookies instead of like vanilla wafers or chestnut cookies. But yes, so I have that. That's a weekly thing. I'm about to roll out mini sweet potato pies as well. Ooh. So that's about to be on the menu starting next week. Hey. And then, yeah. Oh, and I have cookie fries as well. Yes.
How that work? Okay, so I ain't never heard that before. So you gotta go. So what's a cookie fry? So what is that?
Is
like, so basically what it sounds like.
It's just
molded fries into a fry.
Yeah. So I do chocolate chips, snickerdoodle, and sugar, and I just turn them into fries, and it comes with a dipping sauce and everything.
I ain't never heard nothing like that. I kind of want some. I'm hungry.
I gotta get some to you.
So what's your like process for really creating these sweets? Do you like do you make them in bulk all at one time, or do you like just per order you just make whatever people request?
So I take pre-orders. So the way that my process works is, well, now that I'm kind of full-time baking, my schedule has changed. So normally what I was doing was I opened my website on Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I have my site open all week, and then I close it Friday at 2 o'clock. So I give everyone the opportunity to put their order in throughout the week, and then I bake on the weekends, and then they can pick up on Sunday normally. And the reason why I do that is because, for one, I'm like, if you want cookies, you can go to Crumble and you can go to Insomnia. But if you want Bryonne Bakery cookies, you're gonna have to pay.
For real.
And I think it's worth the wait, though. I have most of my customers, they tell me it's worth the wait, and even sometimes, you know, because mishaps happen, and I'm only one person. I don't have a team. I do everything. Even when things happen, they're like, oh yeah, I don't mind waiting. Like, you know, it's worth it. Like,
it take a long time. Like,
yeah, normally people will get upset if you like make a mistake or something happens or you have to like delay their order. But I'm really specific about, I want to give quality. I don't like rushing stuff, and I'm not going to give people. If you're going to pay $5 for a cookie, I'm going to make sure it's quality.
Right.
And yeah, they're like, oh yeah, it's fine. Take your time. It's no rush, because they know it's worth it. So I love that about my clients.
That's what's up. A quality over quantity. And speaking of, I'm about to preheat this oven because she got these cookies right here. And listen, I'm hungry. She talking about all this food, all this dessert, and $3.50.
Yes, and then I can incorporate the other chocolate chips in this one, so I can put the rest.
So you mentioned side quests, right? So if somebody want a special order, like, oh, I want a birthday cake for my birthday. Are you willing to do something like that?
I do cupcakes. I can do cakes. However, I'm going to leave the big cakes to the other bakers. But bento cakes, which are like mini cakes.
I'm about to say, what's a bento cake?
Yes, it's like, I know you guys heard of bento boxes before, especially like within this last year. Like bento has been like a huge thing, but a bento cake is just like a mini cake. It's like a 4 or 6 inch 2-layer cake maybe. That people sometimes pair with like maybe 3 cupcakes, 4 cupcakes is like a pack.
Okay.
So yeah, I can do things like that. I do cake pops. I do. What else do I do? I can do popcorn, like flavored popcorn, chocolate covered strawberries, pies, cobblers, literally anything.
Oh, I'll hit you up for pecan pie because
Yeah.
Thanksgiving coming up, and
So
I love some pecan pie. So cake pops, those is like this cake on a stick, like okay.
Yeah, like Starbucks does theirs.
Hey,
but
you better than Starbucks though.
Yeah.
So we ain't.
Yeah, so if you want to put in a special request with me, I do have like a special online form that I usually have the link in my bio, but I'm trying to see how I can incorporate a form on my website so that I can keep it all on one platform. But for now, you can just DM me.
So your goals for the future, right? So where do you see your bakery taking off in the next, or where would you like to see your business go in the next 5 years?
Well, the next 5 years, considering how fast it's taking off within 4 months, it's crazy. A lot of people ask me if I want to have like a brick and mortar or a storefront. I don't know right now, just because I like being an online based bakery. I like the it's like an exclusiveness that comes with that. Even people having to wait a week for their order, I feel like is an exclusiveness that comes with that as well. And that's what sets me apart from other companies. So that's why even when I do pop ups, I feel like I sell out more because people have to like they know this is the only opportunity I have in my hand. So I want to be able to have it set up to where I'm online based and I can pop up anywhere. So I don't have to stay stationary in one area, if that makes sense. So I can come to a city near you and do you can place an order online and I can pop up in the city near you. You know, so and I've never seen something done like that before. So that's where I see myself in 5 years right now, is just, running a online based bakery, having a team, maybe having a few locations set up. I definitely see myself or see this as a multi-million-dollar business for sure. And I'm going to manifest that.
For real.
One of my slogans, or not slogans, but my motto is like rich off cookies. So that's what I tell myself. And that's what I've been saying because I'm really determined to get rich off cookies. Yeah, nothing but sugar. So we got 4 minutes left.
Oh my, boy, I can't wait, boy.
Yeah, but it's literally nothing but sugar and butter, and I'll just be like, oh, I'm giving y'all diabetes.
Man, I'm almost ready for these cookies. All right,
I was supposed to use this, but I used my hands. So.
Do you feel like that's better though, to use your hands versus like utensils?
Because then I can actually instead of having to. Well, okay, I use this to mix, but then when I'm putting like stuff in the cookies, when the dough is already formed, I like to just use my hands because that takes a lot of muscle work to. Yeah. And this is a small batch, just like one batch. So usually I'm making 4 at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that because make life easier. Is there anything you want to tell the folks watching? So any social media channels or any other places that people can find you? Yes,
I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I am on TikTok. I am on Threads. I am on Shopify. Well, it's not really none of y'all business, but I have a website too. So my Instagram, which I'll put in the
we're gonna put it somewhere on this video.
It's Bryonne Bakery on Instagram. On Facebook, it's Bryonne Bakery. On TikTok, it's Bryonne Bakery. On Threads, it's Bryonne Bakery. What else did I say? I think that's it. All right. Yeah, Bryonne Bakery.
Hey. Yeah. Bryonne Bakery, folks. And that concludes another episode of My Type of People. I appreciate you for coming in, talking with me, sharing your story. I'm ready to see where this is going to take you in the next 5 years. So We'll keep in contact though.
I
But
appreciate the opportunity and like just taking your time out to ask me these questions and just to be here. Because a lot of people don't know like I'm the owner of this brand, so I think it'll be pretty good to like put my face out there, which I normally don't like to do. So this was a really good opportunity, and yeah, you did a great job.
hey, that's it, folks. Peace. Bye. Testing,
Yeah.
testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Say something for me, please.